kids, we're back talking about your second favorite game, Call of Duty. Or at least I wish we were, but it's June, so it's gonna be that kind of video. I guess this is becoming a FaZe channel now because today we're looking at the battle of Call of Duty versus FaZe Nickmercs.
We're coming for your children.
Pop question, what's happened in the past 48 hours that's caused Call of Gwoomers to be trending on Twitter and Dr. Disrespect to uninstall the game? Or at least that's what I would say if I was your teacher in future class, or if I actually knew the answer. Since I don't currently know that answer, let's go through the story and maybe we can find out. Like 2 or 3 days ago now, somewhere, a school in Glendale, California, was doing a bit of a madness and having a anti-LGBT protest and a pro-LGBT protest on the same day. Also, it was a school board meeting. Also, said school board was voting on recognizing Pride Month. Who wrote this? In response to this, Overwatch player MLG Puckett replied, "This happened 4 blocks from my Overwatch League apartment. Americans are in a sad place right now. Let people love who they love and live your own life." FaZe Nickmercs replies, "They should leave little children alone. That's the real issue." Honestly, nothing too out there, nothing too crazy. That's literally all he said. And just for context, both of these men have children, so these are both the qualified opinions of parents. And as you can see, there are different opinions about this, which is why this is a social issue in the first place. Obviously, especially this is why it's an ongoing social issue in the first place. And just so we're all clear here, he was simply saying that they shouldn't put that kind of education in the school curriculums. He wasn't implying anything about LGBTQ people at all in the slightest. However, many people not just took it that way, they instantly assumed it that way. In this weird thing that keeps happening where you say leave children alone and people with furry costumes and LGBTQ flags are personally offended. Anyway, since we live in this timeline, obviously he got a ton of flack for that on Twitter, and so he took to stream the next day in order to make his point a little bit more clear. Now, at first he says he didn't mean to upset anyone. He knows what he did, but he did not apologize about the tweet, and he's not gonna delete it or anything like that either. And of course, shortly thereafter, Call of Duty itself actually removed his operator skin from the game, and making this statement: "Due to recent events, we have removed the Nickmercs operator bundle from the Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone store. We are focused on celebrating Pride with our employees and our community." What's going on? I thought our side was bad with optics. This is the worst optics I've seen since Gypsy Crusader. This is worse optics than that time Richard Spencer got all his friends do the Roman salute. And so I bet you wouldn't be surprised to know that this caused a full firestorm of backlash against Activision and Call of Duty itself. So naturally, the meme machine started to ramp up and make some funny pictures. By the way, you guys should head on down to Walmart to pick up your Bud Light Call of Duty pack. This picked up steam quite quickly. In fact, so quickly that the same day, two-time himself, Dr. Disrespect, literally uninstalled the game in protest.
What we gotta do is uninstall the game. Number one. I mean, don't get a mistaken, this year's Call of Duty is the worst in its franchise. But that decision by COD's PR marketing team, I feel like A, they either need to apologize publicly to him or reinstate his bundle in order for me to consider playing Call of Duty again. That's where I'm at.
Also, Tim the Tatman, another Call of Duty influencer who has his own skin on the game as well, actually asked Call of Duty to remove his stuff as well in support of his friend Nickmercs, which is very based in my opinion. A lot of the times when people get in trouble for culture war related things, a lot of their friends and family will hang them out to dry. So it's very refreshing to see someone not just stand up for his friend, but to jump headfirst into the controversy that he wasn't even involved in.
Go and see San Francisco. Go and turn up that disco.
Now we're to the interesting part of the story, which is honestly disgusting, if not revolting in itself, in that the corporate game media, you know, the people who have really been in touch with the gaming community, especially the average Call of Duty player, also decides to run with the disgusting implication that Nickmercs did not make in order to do what? To support Activision, the company who bullied one of their female employees so bad that she committed on a work trip? I don't know about you guys, but I'm not gonna get lectured on how to treat people by Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby. This is especially rich coming from Call of Duty, the #1 game where you're going to be called a slur on the internet. I don't know if this is an actual disconnect between between marketing and PR and the actual company as many people think. I think that this is almost certainly a 100% fully synergistic move from Activision. And much how probably for the rest of time Bud Light will be known as the drink of dudes who like to wear dresses, I think Call of Duty will get a similar reputation. All of this has happened so fast and I believe gotten so controversial that Activision itself hasn't actually made a statement regarding any of the boycotts or any of the backlash that's happened so far, so we'll keep waiting with bated breath. Until then.